All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Rob's Arcade. I am your host, Rob French. And today is it's actually kind of a disappointing episode. It was supposed to be a really cool episode. They're all supposed to be really fun. But this is actually a reshoot for my 200th video, which I shot this weekend, but somehow got lost in the iCloud and cyberspace. And I shot the whole thing, processed it, through my iPhone, and it got lost somewhere for like 2 days. I've been trying to upload it, wouldn't take. I don't know if you guys have had the same problem with iPhone. Let me know. Let me know what you guys use to make your videos. Leave some comments down below if you have any suggestions. I take suggestions all the time. This is why I have this thing going on. My buddy Andrew and my cousin Holden said sometimes the audio inside Rob's Arcade can be a little muffled. So, excuse me, trying this out here. Hopefully, this will help with the audio and you guys can hear me. Microphone check 1 2 1 2 a little bit more clearly as we run through this episode of Rob's Arcade for the second time. Help me celebrate my 200th video with an amazing toy hunt that's 30 years in the making. Womp, womp. No, okay, so, all right. A few video episodes ago, I came to you guys with a really cool walkthrough with some of the action figures you can collect inside GTA. Okay? And I thought it would be really fun to do a similar event in real life. Do a little action figure hunting. I kind of set something up with my boy Andrew again. Shout out to my boy Andrew. And we were going to go maybe do, I don't know, some hunting around town, find some Wolverine figures, comparison, whatever. I had really no clue what I was going to do. But oddly enough, an action figure kind of scavenger hunt, if you will, kind of fell into my lap this past weekend. Now, I got home from work Saturday night. My wife was like, "Do you want to go shopping tomorrow?" Oh, excuse me. What was that? I must be getting jacked off these Red Bulls. Oh, yeah. So, of course, I'm like, yes, let's go shopping. She wanted to hit up Target, and nothing crazy, just, some stuff we need for around the house. But Target's got a great selection of Todd McFarlane action figures. And I'm like, if I've got a shot at picking up some action figures, I'm all over it, right? So Sunday morning, we wake up, we get ready to head out. And as we're getting ready to head out, she's like, we've got all these DVDs that we're trying to get rid of. I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, why don't we take them into Second and Charles and see if we can get anything for them? So we take in 3 grocery bags full of DVDs, right? I also have a gift card for Second and Charles that I got from my mother-in-law, I think for my birthday. Yeah. So going in, I know we're going to have store credit. I've got a gift card. I know I'm going to walk out with a Todd McFarlane action figure. It's already in my head. So we get to Second and Charles. We check everything in. We're walking around. And sure enough, I hit the Todd McFarlane rack at Second and Charles. And there is an amazing selection of Todd McFarlane DC action figures, which, let me just take a moment here and explain why these are so awesome. So McFarlane Toys got its start back in 1994. And it was actually called Todd Toys originally. But they got started just making McFarlane's Spawn action figures. That was kind of what they were known for, and not a whole lot more. But they were really great action figures. I had a lot of myself growing up as a kid. very detailed, very cool. Nothing you would really find on your typical toy shelf. Like a lot of the times, picking up action figures, you might get like 5 or like maybe 9 points of articulation. Even before Todd was doing, what is it, 22 points of articulation on his figures, there was way more than just 5 or 9. He put a lot of like hinges, movement in the wrist, and really put these figures together so that way you could either leave them in the box, or if you wanted to take them out and display them, you could actually display them in some really cool poses and some really cool like just like the things that they were doing in the comics. And up until that moment, you didn't have it. You had like these stiff action figures, like it wasn't there yet. And Todd McFarlane in 1994, it was kind of sad. I was like, really getting into Spawn and his comic book, and then he kind of like broke away and decided he was going to start this toy company. But I'm so glad he did because even though he wasn't like really drawing the comic as much anymore, he brought in Greg Capello, which was an amazing artist. We're going to get into him just a little bit more in a second. But I'm so glad he did now because the toy line that he has set up over the years is just amazing. He's done sports action figures, horror movies, The Wizard of Oz, like anime, Akira, video games, Borderlands. It just, the list goes on and on. Stranger Things. Gosh, it's just, there's like so many properties that McFarlane Toys has taken on since 1994 when he started. And now he's doing DC characters. And that's very important because, he started his own comic book company because he was told, you can't do this, you can't do that, we won't do this. So he said, let me start my own comic book company, essentially. And the same thing happened with the toy line. Mattel was going to do his toys, and I'm sure there was a lot of, we can't do this, we can't do that, we won't. He said, fine, I'll do my own thing, start my own toy line. But now you have companies like DC that is a competitor with his Image comic books. He left Marvel, he left it all behind because he was told no, no, no. And now DC is coming to him and saying, will you please? So these action figures are cool. They're fun. They're very detailed. Very cool to look at. But they are a spike in the ground, if you will, for Todd McFarlane and what he's done. He was told no, no, no. He said yes, yes, yes. And now other companies that were once his rival are now saying, please, please, please. So, really cool, really amazing, and just hats off to Tom McFarlane there. I could probably do a whole episode on him, but we won't get into all that. But yeah, basically, like Mattel was like, no, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. He said, enough is enough, and he started his own toy company and put together some really cool action figures. So anyway, Sunday I went out and I stumbled upon the DC line at 2nd and Charles, and found just a really cool, I wish I'd been filming the whole time, but stumbled upon a really fun action figure, kind of scavenger hunt find, like something that was like, I got the first part. Maybe I can find the second part. Maybe I can find the third part. So let me go ahead and jump right into this real quick, and then we're gonna show, I guess, all the figures and why they're all so cool. But it all started with this guy right here, Batman from Greg Capello and Scott Snyder's Last Night on Earth, holding the Joker head and the Billy Club there. Little like, don't knock on the glass action. Uh, Now this figure is really cool because it's part of a Bane Build-A-Figure set, which I've never done like a Build-A-Figure. Now I know like Marvel does them with Hasbro, and you buy one figure, you get a leg, and I think what was the recent one I just saw? It was really hard not to do. Oh, Ghostbusters. You can put together the little like a demon Rottweiler or whatever it is. This is part of a Build-A-Figure Bane. Now, the really cool thing is I saw this guy first. And as I'm like searching around looking at other, DC figures, I actually stumbled upon the second and the third. It's got store credit, gift card. It all added up. So I went ahead and I bought the first three and was on my way to building a Bane. We got to Target, and I was lucky enough to find the fourth. Now stay tuned as I show you each figure and as I sit here and build Bane for a very cool, very fortunate second take at Rob's 200th video. Now, thank you guys for hanging out. This is not the 200th episode of Rob's Arcade. Don't get it twisted. Not even the 200th episode of the French Quarter. The French Quarter, excuse me. But I've been putting together videos for a long time. I've got videos with stop motion Lego. Videos with my mom and I just kind of hanging out doing stuff. But you guys have been with me, hanging out, watching, hitting the like buttons, leaving comments. I love it. And you've been with me through all the different variations, all the different incarnations of my show. And I just want to thank you guys. Let's celebrate. Turn up with Rob's 200th video. Checking out Todd McFarlane's DC line of DC's Batman The Last Night, done by Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder. Let's go ahead and check these figures out, guys. Thanks. Get jacked up off these ribbons. So here we go. This, guys, is the figure, like I said, that kind of started the whole hunt for all the different figures. And it wasn't a very hard, like, I feel bad. Like, I know a lot of people, like, kind of hunt these guys down and, like, hit up different stores and go online and everything. And I literally, like, fell into these guys within a matter of, like, 30 or maybe 40 minutes. Now this is from, like I said, Greg Capullo's Last Night on Earth, which I have not read, but I've seen a lot of panels and a lot of different images from the book, and it looks Really amazing. I'm really looking forward to reading it, so please, no spoilers. Thank you so much. Uh, but what catches my attention right away is that this suit looks very much um, like a straitjacket. You know, instead of the cape, you've got these like trindles here that are kind of like straps. Even his little arm guards here have a very strappy bedside manner kind of effect going on. And of course, even here along the collar, very, very much straitjackety. Which is kind of ironic because, you know, Batman typically puts people in Arkham. So the idea that he may be escaping Arkham himself is pretty cool. And then he's got the Billy Club, which it kind of suggests maybe this whole part of this gear here is like security from Arkham Asylum. And then, of course, instead of the bat, you've got the W, which is sort of like an upside down bat. Pretty cool. I like this figure a lot. And this figure came with a couple of pieces for another figure. Go ahead and show you those real quick. Got a couple of fists here. Pretty solid. Really big. I mean, when you look at the size of the fist compared to the size of this head here, it's pretty impressive. And speaking of heads, we've also got a little, looks like a Bane head here. Now, I like this head. It's very, speaking of McFarlane, very Spawn-like, if you ask me. Great job, Greg Capello on that. But of course, it's the bat. We got the zipper here on the back. I didn't get that detail. There we go. Even got the little zipper tag there. But yeah, the Bane mask is essentially the Batman symbol, which is really cool. Beautiful red eyes, but it's kind of Spawn-like as well. All right, so yeah, these are the pieces that came with this figure. Also like the fact that we got Joker here in the head. Let's see if we can get a little close up on that guy. Kind of check this. A lot of detail. I mean, this looks almost like Jack Nicholson's head or something was like severed and then put into a little jar. This is really creepy, really cool. Great colors, great effects. And, you know, everything fits really well. The fingers are a little stiff, but of course all Todd's toys aren't loose. You know, he wants to make sure you guys get some cool poses and, you know, nothing's like loosey-goosey. So, really cool action figure. I like this one a lot. Alright, boys. Next up, we have the Scarecrow. Now, this is a very wicked-looking character. All the fingers move independently on both hands. Got some great articulation in the wrist here. What do you want? What do you mean? What? Okay, anyway. I feel like Todd saved a lot of money on this figure because there are no legs. There is a cool display. However, I am using it for my Superman animated figure here. Let's go ahead and take this off. This is kind of comical. But anyway, it comes with a cool clear display stand. Like I said, I'm using it right now. Kind of give Superman that up and away look. But it works with the Scarecrow as well. However, because I am doing the Bane Build-A-Figure set, we won't be needing the display for that figure. But I feel like he's saving money. Like, no legs. Like, right? Like, yeah, I'm going to do a figure. We're not going to do any legs. Yeah, just kind of give it kind of cool look, you know? Whatever, dude. You're saving so much money right now on plastic. It's ridiculous. But very cool figure. And then this little plastic helmet comes off. And it gives you this freak... Like, this is so grotesque. I love it. This is the thing of nightmares right here. Kind Got the noose around the neck. Just really, really cool. And I guess the whole back piece will come off and just, I mean, that's just wicked. Just a piece here. And then it all just kind of slips back on very easily. And it's kind of got a very Red Hood look, if you will. You got the red dome and then the leather jacket. Very, very cool. Gross intestines in here. Very sick figure. I like it a lot. One of the things about McFarlane toys that I've always liked is the textures that accommodate each figure. So, like, you know, you got this leathery jacket here. It's a little different from the plastic used for the hose. Different from the plastic on the fingers. Different from the plastic on the chest. And it's very similar to the plastic on the noose. So it gives it a very natural feel and just a very cool look. And it's all very independent. It kind of pops off of each other. And even with no legs, this is a very, very, very solid figure here. So you get all these articulations in here in the fingers. And like I said, don't don't go to bed right after playing with this guy. Got the scarecrow here. I can't remember what pieces came with him. We're not going to jump into all that right now. I think maybe the back or something. The arms. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway. All right, guys, and welcome back. This is the Wonder Woman from the Last Night on Earth set. Very, very cool design. As you can see, kind of got the same haircut thing going on here. Now, I really like this figure because it reminds me a lot of the original Angela figure that I had growing up. And it's because I think of the boots, the fact that the damn thing does not stay up very well on its own. That's exactly what I was saying. But again, also because of just the way some of her suit is with this here and some of the cape action. It just reminds me a lot of the original Angela figure. Again, with the boots. Very much reminds me of Angela. Not so much the hair. Very unique look. And again, hats off to Greg Capella for this. Greg Capella does a great job with... Greg Capella? Excuse me. Greg Capello. A great job with Batman. I don't think anybody really writes Batman much better than Scott Snyder in this generation. And definitely, there are not many artists out there who draw Batman or even DC for that matter better than Craig. He just does an amazing job. And this is his take on this Wonder Woman with this cool mohawk. Got the shading in here, like there's some stubble growing in a little bit. And then of course we got this really cool sword, which of course can be removed. Now when I got this thing, it's already starting to bend up a little bit. You can just put this between a couple of books, put some weights on it, it'll flatten right out. I did the same thing and it's already starting to curve again. Maybe I need to put it in there for like more than just a day or two. But I love the cape. Got some weathering in here. Again, the texture in the cape, it feels more like a fabric, even though it's very much a plastic. There's also cool little sword action or knife action in here. Does not pull out, but you know, you can maneuver it around a little bit. Is she going for a knife? Is she going for the sword? Who knows? But very cool figure. This was the third piece I saw at 2nd and Charles. And even alone, I mean, this is like a no-brainer figure right here. I don't think you need the whole set with this whole collection. I feel like all of it really, well, I'm gonna be honest. So I feel like the Scarecrow, maybe not so much, is a needed part by itself. But the Batman, the Wonder Woman, and then the next part coming up, I feel like are very cool action figures alone and would make a great addition to any collection. I'd like to see this in live action. Give us a Last Night on Earth live action movie. That'd be great. Who would you cast? Let me know. Comment below. Tell me. Okay, so this very dynamic looking Batman Beyond-esque character, looking off into the distance there, is actually Omega, which I'm guessing is the same Omega as the whole Big Brother satellite storyline thing that they did with DC a while back. I have Omega, what is it, Omega Mac or something? What, I can't, oh my gosh. It's gonna, actually, hold on. Can I dive in? No, I'm not gonna do that. It's too much, too crazy. But this is like a Batman-esque character within the Batman Last Night on Earth, but I almost feel like it's almost very Superman-esque. Like this is their Superman character. I don't know. Very cool. Reminds me of Batman Beyond. It's got a very sharp, short cape. Very cool colors. Also comes with a couple of interchangeable fists. And you can also do the kind of like open hand. And then this like little semi grip here. Now, this figure I did not find at 2nd and Charles. I got the first 3, and you know, we were heading to Target originally anyway. So from 2nd and Charles to Target, it's a very short drive, just a few minutes. So I hop online, I find out what the 4th figure is, which is this really cool guy here. And immediately start searching where I can pick him up. Best Buy had him at 7 days to my house or 4 days at in-store pickup. By the time I got to Target, I was like, you know, I'll wait till I get home. You know, I don't have to order this now, but I'm definitely going to order this figure. We get inside Target, we start looking around. We hit the DVD, video game section. My wife goes off and looks at what I call like the Hot Topic section of Target with all the pops and the cool, like, you know, Stranger Things figures and all the horror, whatever. That back wall along the DVDs. So I head right to the action figures, and right there, between 2 kids looking at all the Batman, I like reached in like, oh, we've got the 4th piece. I was gonna order this guy, and I'm like, oh my god, there he is. I couldn't believe it. I feel like, again, some people spend, you know, weeks and months trying to, you know, find these figures and, you know, put it all together. And I just happened to stumble upon this guy and a couple of more pieces to the Bane Build-A-Figure. God, look how big these are. Like, these are just some massive, massive pieces. So, all right, let's go ahead and put this big Bane figure together and see exactly what we are dealing with. Look at all, like, you still get all the points of articulation, even in these big figures, like the ankle, everything is there. I love it. It's beautiful. Get the grip on the bottom there. So dope. All right, guys, let's check this out. All right, guys. Here we go. Going to be putting together this Build-A-Figure. I've never done, again, one of these before. This is pretty cool. Because I know a lot of different companies put these things out. And I've done some really cool ones over the years. Some I've really wanted to, like, buy. And I feel like, again, I feel bad because I know people are out there, like, looking for all these different pieces. And I literally, like, just kind of stumbled upon everything within a matter of, like, 30 or 40 minutes. Just kind of like walking around Target and Second and Charles. And this is like one of those things where this is like $100 figure, I feel like, because you have to spend $25 4 times to put this figure together. I've really lucked out, like I said, with store credit and gift cards and all that. But it's one of those things where, like, I've lost figures over the years and it's not a big deal. I kind of feel like if I ever lost this figure, I would really be depressed because, like, how do you get this guy back, So, anyway, let's go ahead and start assembling this Bane figure. Again, some really cool textures in the vest and the costume here. I don't know if you can see here on the back. Just beside my finger there is like a little bullet hole there. It's almost like a little thumbtack hole or something. Where he's like taking a slug, it looks like. It's pretty wicked. Now, when putting this guy together, put the little outer pockets that you have here on the outside of the figure there. Now, this is take 2, which I'm really glad because the first time assembling this figure, and the second time too, it looks like I had a really hard time because you really have to force this guy together. Like I said, he is not a lightweight. You gotta, like, shove each piece, twist and turn and get it to lock to make sure each piece goes in there nice and flush there. You're going to have some gaps, I feel like, just because, you are putting this guy together yourself. No! See, this is why I didn't want to do a microphone, because you're going to lose you guys from time to time. But again, like I said, you just got to really force this guy in. There we go. All right. Nope. There we go. No, the leg came out. There we go. Kind of like need to lift as many weights as Bane lifts to kind of put this guy together here. All right. So then we do the arms. Pop that guy in there. And then this arm here, just gotta click that guy in there. Put the fist in. Put that fist in there. Wow. And then the head. There we go. This guy weighs about 5 pounds, and I swear if you do curls with this figure, you will get just as big as Bane is. Now, I thought growing up that, like, Overkill figure, Cygor, those were big, hefty figures. This is the biggest, heftiest figure I've ever encountered in my life. Um, I can't say enough about it. Like, again, the textures are just amazing. Uh, all the points of articulation and the heels and the legs and the knees and everything. The really cool feature, which I thought I was missing something, is this little peg here on the back next to the bullet hole. I was like online digging in the trash. Like, did I miss a hose or something that's supposed to like fit here and go somewhere else or whatever? But actually, you're supposed to display this figure on the back. But to ensure he doesn't slip off, they hid a little peg here in his intestines. Oh, that's his intestines. Anyway, this little intestine peg here will fit neatly this little slot, allowing Bane to carry the Scarecrow figure, the cyborg Scarecrow figure, if you will. Anyway, what a really cool find. Again, I can't imagine like how frustrating it must be. It must be for some people out there to like be searching and looking for these figures and trying to put this thing together. And I literally like within a 5-mile radius, within 30 minutes, found the whole thing and just really excited about the whole ordeal. Anyway, sorry my first take at 200 didn't stick. Hopefully this one will. Let me know what you guys think. Which one was your favorite character? Let me know if you guys think there's anything Todd hasn't done that you would like maybe to see him do in the future. I guarantee he's already done it. I promise he has. But yeah, again, thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to like, share, comment, all that jazz. And until next time, don't spend your quarter anywhere else. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been an awesome 200. Much like Todd McFarlane and his Spawn, they just hit 300. So let's look at it like as the first step to road 300, the 300th episode, coming from Rob French. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out. Catch you next time.